Hello, welcome to Nomenclature Part 2. Let's go over where we left off with the homework. So, hopefully you guys took the time to do these because this is the best way of learning organic chemistry or pretty much everything. You have to do your homework, but alright, let's get started. Problem number 1. So, hopefully you guys remember the two things you have to remember when naming organic compounds. The first thing you have to do is find the longest chain or longest path. In this case, there isn't really a path for question number 1. There's only one carbon, so since we can't one carbon, hopefully we remember from our studies that if an organic compound contains only one carbon, that its name will be methane. Now you don't have to write the one carbon parts when answering these questions. That's just so help you guys remember that if the compound had one carbon, it would be named methane. Alright, question number 2. So, first we find the longest path. It looks like there is only one path that one person could do in order to get as many carbons as possible. So, we count 1, 2 carbons. If a compound contains 2 carbons, its name is ethane. Alright, number 3. So don't forget that the hydrogens don't matter. I just didn't include them because it's just tiresome having to put every single hydrogen on there. But remember that they're always here, even if I don't include them. Much later, you'll find out that no one ever includes the hydrogens anymore because it's irrelevant. There's another type of structure called line angle structure that doesn't include the hydrogens. But alright, so let's name this. We find the longest path. Once again, it looks like there's only one path that you can take through this compound. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we didn't go over this name in the last video, but I did give you what 7-carbon compound is called, and it is heptane. Alright, number 4. So maybe this looked a little bit confusing to some of you, but don't let this confuse you that way that I had made it a right angle here, because it doesn't, when I say path, it doesn't have to be a straight path. You wouldn't go, oh, so here's 1, there's 2, there's 3, oh, and that must be it because it's only a straight path. When I talk about path, I mean like without going through the compound without going in reverse. So you'd start here, you keep going, and as long as you don't go backwards, it's okay. So here we include all the carbons. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So hopefully you guys remember from the last video that a 5-carbon compound is pentane. Alright, so now 5 and 6. These were tough ones. Hopefully you guys recall. So, first we have to find the longest path. So let's start from the left, just the way I always do it. And we'll move. So let's see. Now we want to see which path should we take to give us the most carbons. It looks like we'll get the same amount no matter what. So let's just go straight across. Now just so you guys know, if you had gone from here and went there and down, or you went from this carbon up, that's perfectly alright. Even if you didn't go from the left, you could have gone from the right, wherever, it doesn't matter. It will not influence your answer. So anyways, let's just do the green one. So 1, 2, 3 carbons. 3 carbons is propane. Now remember what I said about taking a direct path. When I say that, I mean, so for the green, or change the color really quick. What about white? Alright, so let's say we're starting from up here, and we come here, then we come here. when I say direct path, I mean we don't go in reverse and go, oh, let's go back, get this carbon, now let's go back and get that carbon. Alright, looks like we have 5. So you can only take, oh, now it's all messy, let me rewrite it. So remember, only one path, no going in reverse. So once as you come here, there's no going back. You go either up, down, or right, somewhere where it won't take you in reverse. But I think you guys got that by now. Leave comments if you're still confused about that. Alright, now 6. So, we have to find the longest path in the compound. So, let's just start from the left. So, we come down. It looks like either path will give us the same number, so let's just go here. Once again, I'll mention that it's perfectly alright if you had just gone down, because both paths give the same number. Both would provide the same correct answer. Now let's count. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons, pentane. And once again, you don't have to include that 5 carbons thing. That's just to help you guys remember. Alright, so that's all the answers. Alright, so in today's video, what you'll be learning is how this extra carbon would influence the name, how it affects it, and here's another one. I went into it a little bit over here, and how I call this 2-methylpropane instead of just propane. Alright, so let's get started on learning how to name it when there are several branches from the main path. Alrighty. 1 second, please. Alrighty, so Nomenclature Part 2. Alright, so let's get started. So what we'll be talking about is when there are several paths that can be taken when naming the organic compounds, and you're gonna have to give a different name to those specific kinds of organic compounds. So let's just draw a quick example. Alright, so let's name it. So once again, we just find the longest path. We'll start from here, and we'll just go straight across. And let's count. 1, 2, 3. That is propane. Alright, so this is what you guys have learned already. So what do we do about this extra branch? So you're gonna have to memorize some more stuff now. What this branch is called is methyl. It's a methyl group. And in order to properly name this, you assign the group to which carbon it branches off of. In this case, it's the number 2 carbon. So it is called 2-methyl. And then the only thing that's left is to just put it all together into 2-methyl propane. Alright, so one thing to notice is the hyphen. There's always a hyphen between a number and the words, I guess. It's the best way of saying it. So yeah, there will be several, actually there will be many compounds that will have many numbers in them. So one thing to always remember is between a number and a actual name and words, there'll be a hyphen. If you have more than one number, there's going to be a comma. We'll definitely see examples of the comma, but just things to remember and try to your best to recall. Comma between numbers, hyphen between a word and a number. Alright, so let's just do another one real quick. So we see more examples, the more easier you'll be able to learn this. So let's see. See if you can come up with the name while I add the hydrogens. Alrighty, so let's name this. First thing, I'm gonna write these out again. Count the number of carbon atoms in the longest path. So hopefully you guys had already done this. So it looks like the longest path is just going straight across. Could have also, looks like, gone like this. Alright, so new thing you're gonna have to learn is when you number the carbon atoms, you want to give the branch the smallest number. Alright, so what do I mean? So as we see, let's go based off the blue path. We have a branch right here. So let's count and say, alright, from the left. Sorry. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so based off what we saw up here, the branch is given the number it branches off of. In this case, it was 2. Here it is 3. So its name would be, remember, hyphen 3-methyl butane, because we counted 4 carbons. Alright, but let's see what would happen if we had numbered from the other side of the path. So from here. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, in this situation, the branch is off the number 2 carbon. So its name would be 2, remember the hyphen, 2-methyl butane. Alright, so which name is the correct name? These two do give the same compound, but you have to follow conventions, unfortunately, and the convention is that if there are 2 different names for a compound, you're gonna give it the name which contains the smallest number for the branch. So hopefully you guys know your numbers. 2 is smaller than 3, so the proper name for this compound is 2-methylbutane. Alright, let's do another example. Let's see. Alright, see if you can come up with the name for this one. Alright, so hopefully you guys came up with the answer. Hopefully you guys have a good understanding of the rules I've been writing down. So let's start counting. Well, no, first let's find the longest path. It looks like there's only one path in this compound. So let's number them. So it looks like we had all the carbons on our path, and there were 5 total carbons. This is pentane. So my goal here was to see if anyone would have made the mistake of calling this 1-methyl butane. So how would that have worked if you had thought, oh, this must be a branch, and we want to give the branch the smallest number, so we'll count from right to left. Looks like we have 4 carbons in this path with our one branch right here. So the name must be 1-methyl butane. So this name does produce the correct compound, but a lot about naming is about convention, and since you want to avoid, I suppose, including branches in your name, so since these two give the same compound, this one wins by convention. And one way to try your best to avoid this is to remember to always find the longest path in the compound. So don't try to get tricked just because of these angles that I put. You should just try your best, find the longest path, and you might be able to catch that, oh, this isn't an actual branch, it's actually part of the main path. Alright, so hopefully you're able to catch that. If not, hopefully you understand why this is pentane and not 1-methyl butane. Alrighty, let's do another example. Hold on real quick. So let's see what I've already put. Alright, try to name this one. Okay then, let's do this. Find the longest path. So, looks like there are several paths you can take that will give you the same most number of carbons. We can go from here. We can go from here. Then you can also go in reverse. You don't always have to go from left to right, as long as you get the most number of carbons in your path. So let's count. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so do you guys remember why I didn't count from right to left? I know I've always been counting from left to right, but in this case I did it to make sure I gave my branch the smallest number. If we had counted from the right, we would see that it would be called 3-methylbutane instead of 2-methylbutane, which is what we want. I just reversed this problem right here. In this case, we did have to label it from right to left because that would give it the number 2 and give it the conventional answer of 2-methylbutane. So back to what we were just doing. So we counted it with the green path, yellow-green path. We were able to give it the number 2 carbon branch, or coming off the number 2 carbon. So we call it 2-methylbutane. Remember the hyphen. And there's no hyphen between here. Alrighty, so now let's ask ourselves, what would we do if there were more than one branch? So I'll give you guys an example. Alright, so let's see what we can come up with for this one while I add the hydrogen atoms. Alrighty, oh, it gets so messy with all the hydrogen atoms included. Alrighty, so did you guys find the longest path? There were several you could have found. You could have chosen. You could have chosen this. You could have chosen this. Yeah, I think those are the only ones you could have gone with. Oh no, I'm sorry, there's more. So as long as your path had 4 carbons, it's right. I may not be able to find every single one sometimes. And you could have also oh, and there is another going like this. Alright, so I think those are all the correct paths. And now it's all messy again, so I'll redraw it real quick. Just without all those hydrogens. Alright, so let's say we just did the blue path. Let's count. Alrighty, so we counted 4 carbons. We know this is going to end in butane. We see that we have a branch off the number 2 and off the number 3. So we have a 2-methyl and a 3-methyl. So these two can combine and be called 2, 3, I hope there's space, dimethyl. So when you have more than one methyl group in your compound, you will call it dimethyl, meaning 2. Hopefully you guys know your prefixes. And when there is more than one, you just put all the carbons they're branching off of together, separated by commas. In this case, it was the carbon number 2 and carbon number 3. Alright, so let's combine these all into the, let me move this thing, into the correct name. So it's 2, 3, hyphen, remember numbers and words are separated by a hyphen. 2, 3, oh, I just made one of the silliest mistakes when it comes to naming. I forgot to include the di. Alrighty. That's where I lose all my points on exams. 2, 3, dimethyl butane. It's butane, right? Yeah, 4 carbons. Sloppy handwriting. Let me rewrite it. Sorry. 2, 3, dimethyl butane. Alright, so that's the name of this compound. Hopefully this is getting easier. If not, I'm sorry. Leave comments and I will make another video with covering this material. Alrighty, so I'll make another one. One more. I'm not going to include the hydrogens this time because there are going to be too many. It will be messy. So can you guys give me the name for this? I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. You don't have to come with the name right away, but hopefully you get started in the correct way. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys start off with finding the longest path. Once again, there were several you could have taken. There's the blue one, and there's this one. And I believe that's the only 2 you can have. You can always go in reverse from right to left, or can you? So hopefully you guys remembered the rule regarding you want to give your branches the smallest number. So let's answer this. So do we count from right to left or left to right? What factor do we use to decide the answer? Whichever direction will give us the smallest number for our first branch. So let's just do it both ways and see what comes out to be. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then let's count the other way around. Well, actually, let's finish naming this. So we have a carbon off the number 2 branch and the number 4 branch. 2, 4 to signify the 2 branches coming off the 2 and the 4. Do you remember the prefix? Dimethyl And we have 6 carbons, hexane. Alright, so now let's number it from right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have a carbon off the number 3 and the number 5. 3, 5 dimethylhexane. So as we see, the name in blue gives us the smallest numbers, which is what we want when it comes to naming. This one gives us larger numbers. It's the incorrect answer. So it was important that we remember to number these from left to right. So what about the one in the yellow-green? Same deal. You just want to count from left to right because that's what gives the branches the smaller numbers. So, yep, 2, 2, 4 dimethylhexane. Alright, so let's move on to another one. One thing about these videos is you can always pause and rewind. That's the great part. So if you're ever confused about anything, you can always just pause and go back and review. You can go back in the video to look at parts we've already covered. Alrighty. Alright, here's one. So can you name this? Hopefully you guys looked for the longest path. So I won't be including every path anymore. As long as your path has the same number of carbons as mine, that's all that matters. It should produce the same answer. So, alright, so let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would it have been okay if I just counted them from right to left? Hopefully you said nope, because that would give our branches a larger number if we had instead counted them from left to right. So, what do we do? They both come off the same carbon. Is it complicated? Do we do something crazy? No. Just put 2, 2. Signifying the, I think it's 2, 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2, 2. Dimethylbutane. And, yep, if we had done it with what we numbered in the green, yellow-green, it would have been 3, 3 dimethylbutane, and that would not have been the correct answer because that's larger than this, so that's incorrect. This is correct. And yep, this one's called 2,2-dimethylbutane. Hopefully you understood that. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's a good one. This is a good one. Now, I don't want you guys to actually name this. I'm just going to tell you what you should watch out for. So I'll just do this really quick. So we had to number these, correct? First, of course, we find the longest path. This is the longest path. I guess there's also this. But anyway, so with this path I first drew, how will we number this? Do we number it from left to right, or do you number it from right to left? So likely you'll end up with the tough decision of trying to know whether or not it's more important to give our first branch the smaller number, or have all the branches overall have smaller numbers. So what do I mean? Let's number them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so in this case we have 2, 7, and 8. trimethyl. Nobody ever asks anything higher than tri. So 278 trimethyl, oh, what is this? 10-decane. Alright, so that's from going left to right. Now what about right to left? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we numbered it right to left, we would have 3, 4, 9 trimethyl decane. Alright, so what do we see? We notice that if we had numbered it from left to right, one of our branches has a more smaller number than any of the ones here. But if we number it from right to left, we have overall smaller numbers than this one. Here we have, let's see, their sum is 9, 17, 7, 16. So wouldn't it make more sense to use this second name because overall the branches have smaller numbers given to them, assigned to them? Well, we don't always do what just makes sense. We do conventions. So yes, actually this is more important. We want to give our first branch the smaller number. So we don't really care what comes afterwards, the 7 and 8 and the 4 and 9. It's only the very first that we actually care about. In this case, 2 is smaller than 3. So therefore, this was the correct answer. This was not. So let me rewrite it because it's all sloppy now. 278 trimethyl decane. Yay. Alright, so hopefully you guys understood that. Remember, you can always leave comments and I'll go over anything you want again. So, yeah. Now let's do a complicated one. Well, not really complicated, but you're gonna have to think for this one. Hopefully you'll be able to answer it. You know everything you need to in order to solve it. So, have at it. I'll give you guys 10 seconds to just get started on it. You like my great background? It's so exciting. Alrighty, right, longest path. Always the longest path is how you start off. So, this is annoying. Let's just start from somewhere. What does this give us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alrighty, so is there another path we could have taken that would have given us a larger one? Let me just check real quick. Doesn't look like it. Hopefully I'm not missing something, but I think this is the largest path that's in this molecule. So let's name it. Oh, first of all, was it proper for me to label it from left to right? Should have been labeled right to left. So it looks like our first branch in this one is 3. Oh, and in this case, if I'd labeled it from right to left, it would have assigned the first branch of number 2. So this is wrong numbering. My bad, guys. If you guys didn't fall for that, then congratulations. You have beat the master. I'm not a master. You beat the teacher. I think that's exactly what I drew up here. Alright, so it was important that we had numbered this from right to left, because as we have just learned, you want to give your first branch to smaller numbers, so going like this. The path is still correct, though. So then, what do we got? We have a number 2 branch, a number 4 branch, and a number 5 branch. That comes up to be 2, 5. Oh, what am I doing? 2, 5, 2, 4. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. 2 comma 4 5. Do you guys remember the prefix? Trimethylheptane, because we have 7 carbons in our longest path. So that's the name of this compound. The reason, in case you didn't catch it up here, why it's wrong is because if we had named it, it would have been 3 comma 4 comma 6 trimethylheptane. And even though these are the names for the same compound, this one wins by convention because when comparing the first branch, you want to make sure it has, you want to give it the name which will have the smaller beginning number. In this case it's 2. So that's why this one's correct, this is not. That's the correct numbering. Alright, so that's everything that I wanted to go over. Actually, yeah. So let me think real quick. Anything else I want to show you guys? No, I think that's it. I'll give you guys some homework problems to work on. So that's a hydrogen up there. Remember, the hydrogens don't affect the name at all. It's just tiresome. I'm trying to think of a hard one to give you guys. It's tough. Alright, these are the problems I would like you to do. I will post the next video tomorrow. So, yep, homework. So for the next video that I'll be making, I'll be talking about what if we have branches that are even longer. For example, what would you name this one? So you'd have to find the longest path. Unfortunately, there are, well, not unfortunately, no. So we have 2 paths we can take, but both paths give us a branch that contain 2 carbons. So, and it looks like both, and you want to count them from left to right. So what would this be called? This is called 3-ethyl heptane. This will be what I'll be showing you guys next video when branches are even longer, and they'll go from propyl to butyl. They match their main branch names like ethane, propane, and butane. Alright, so Good luck with the homework. Provide feedback so I can give you guys even better videos. Anything's appreciated. Here's the homework. And yeah, good luck guys. Thanks for watching.